Long before the Olympian gods ruled the Greek imagination, long before temples rose to Zeus and Athena, there walked a goddess far older, darker, and more mysterious, one who stood at the threshold between worlds, carrying torches to illuminate the unseen. Her name was Hekate, a figure whose origins stretch back into the shadows of pre-Greek antiquity. Neither fully Olympian nor fully Titan, she existed in a liminal state, a guardian of crossroads, a keeper of spirits, a goddess of magic whose power transcended the boundaries of life and death. To understand Hekate is to walk along the borders of the ancient world, following the flicker of her torches into night, mystery, and transformation. Hecate's earliest known origins reach into Anatolia and Thrace, where she may have been worshipped as a powerful mother goddess or a protectress of households and boundaries. When the Greeks adopted her, they did not diminish her. Instead, they granted her a rare honor in the theogony. Zeus himself, king of the gods, bestowed upon her a share in sky, earth, and sea. In a pantheon often divided by strict roles, Hecate's domain was expansive and fluid. She governed magic, ghosts, necromancy, childbirth, protection, the moon, the night, and the spaces where one world touches another. She was the goddess of thresholds, the literal ones between homes, and the metaphorical ones between life and death, safety and danger, ignorance and hidden knowledge. Her mythology is woven deeply into the story of Persephone and Demeter. When Hades abducted Persephone into the underworld, it was Hekate who heard her cries from the surface world. Later, she guided Demeter with her torches through the darkness in search of her lost daughter. And when Persephone was finally allowed to rise again, it was Hekate who remained at her side, becoming her companion in the underworld for eternity. Unlike most gods who stayed firmly in one realm, Hekate walked freely in all three: sky, earth, and the realm of the dead. This gave her a unique status not just as a goddess of magic, but as the ultimate mediator between worlds. Statues of Hekate often show her in triple form, 3 bodies or 3 faces looking in different directions. This was not simply symbolic art. It reflected her function as a guardian of crossroads, watching all paths at once. Crossroads were sacred to her because they represented choices, transitions, and the convergence of fates. Travelers would leave offerings where the paths met. Hopping Hekate would protect them from spirits or guide them toward safe passage. The Greeks believed she walked with restless souls, guiding them with her torches, sometimes gentle, sometimes fearsome, always watchful. Despite her associations with the underworld, Hekate was not a malevolent figure. She was revered as a protector of homes, especially doorways, where small shrines known as Hecatia were placed to guard the household. She watched over newborns and mothers in labor. She warded off harmful spirits, curses, and nightmares, but like all liminal beings, she could be unpredictable, demanding respect. For those who honored her, she was benevolent. For those who ignored or disrespected her, she could be unsettlingly present, a reminder that the night belongs to forces older than human understanding. Her connection to magic made her especially important in ancient Greek spellcraft and esoteric rites. Hekate was invoked by witches, seers, and those seeking to speak with the dead. She carried a knife, a rope, and a key, symbols of cutting, binding, and unlocking the hidden. The key is perhaps her most significant emblem, for she alone was said to unlock the gates between the realms. The moon was also sacred to her, especially its dark phase, when the night holds its deepest secrecy and transformation becomes possible. The rites dedicated to Hekate were ancient, powerful, and deeply respected. One of the most famous was the Deipnon, held at the end of the lunar month. Families would place food offerings at crossroads or doorways: bread, fish, eggs, honey, and sometimes small cakes known as Hecate's cakes. These offerings were not eaten afterward. They were left for Hekate and for the wandering spirits that traveled with her. The Deipnon acted as a cleansing ritual, a way to purify the household spiritually and begin the new lunar month free of negative influences. The offerings symbolized gratitude, reverence, and humility before the unseen forces of the night. Another practice associated with Hekate was the torchlit procession. Worshippers carried burning torches and walked in silence along roads or through forests, symbolically following Hekate as she moved between the worlds. These processions were acts of devotion, invoking her presence, seeking her guidance, or asking for protection. They were not celebrations in the noisy, festive sense, but rather solemn acts of respect for a goddess of profound depth. Dogs were closely associated with Hekate, and their howls were seen as signs of her arrival or the movement of spirits. In myth, she is often accompanied by a black dog, a symbol of loyalty, protection, and the boundary between life and death. For the Greeks, dogs were animals of both the household and the wild, another reflection of Hecate's liminal nature. As time passed, Hecate's influence spread far beyond Greece. In the Hellenistic era, she became intertwined with Egyptian magic, Persian rites, and later Roman practices. Her cult grew among those who sought personal transformation, secret knowledge, or spiritual protection. She became a patron of magicians and mystics, but also of ordinary people who feared the dangers of the night. In Rome, she was honored as Trivia, goddess of the three-way crossroads, echoing her triple-formed statues. Even as old religions faded, Hekate survived in whispers, folklore, and esoteric traditions. Medieval grimoires referenced her. Renaissance magicians invoked her. In modern times, she has risen again as a symbol of empowerment, intuition, and the mysteries of the feminine divine. Yet beneath every modern interpretation lies the ancient truth. Hekate is a goddess who stands at the threshold, unbound by simple roles, impossible to confine. She is neither wholly benevolent nor fearsome, but a guardian, a guide, a light in the darkest places. To speak of Hekate is to recognize the power of liminality, the transformative moment between what was and what will be. She reminds us that crossroads are sacred, that the night is not empty but full of meaning, that transitions are opportunities for growth, and that within the veil of mystery lies wisdom for those brave enough to seek it. Through history, mythology, and the ancient rites dedicated to her, Hekate endures as a timeless symbol of magic, protection, and the eternal dance between shadow and light. And as long as humans continue to wonder about the unseen world, the torches of Hekate will continue to burn, guiding seekers through the darkness toward understanding. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications.